Hello, my beautiful friends. So, I welcome you in today's session wherein I have channeled Ra, and Ra has an important message for us. And many of you were asking, like why, in my previous sessions, why I sounded a bit different, or maybe why, like I looked a bit different. Okay. So let me explain. The thing is, I was actually trying to do the exercise that they had given us of the focusing our attention on one point of teeth. So I was following that, okay, while I was, talking to you. And right now also I'm trying to do that. Because, when I do this, I feel like, like it feels really good. And when I'm focusing on the teeth, okay, like, everything, like, just the mind becomes like empty, okay. It feels like, I am like, like it feels really good. I mean, you need to try this to experience it for yourself. And, many of you also, I received many emails, okay. They were talking about, many of you were suggesting me names to change my YouTube channel. And there were some good suggestions, but the thing is, I thought about it, and I was like, there was a reason, why the universe, or why these beings, they are communicating through me. Okay, I used to do magic before, and after 100 years, or maybe even even after 50 years, or even after some time, and whenever people listen to my message, why does all these spiritual teachings have to come through a person, or a monk, or a nun, or a spiritual person? Why cannot it come through a normal person? Like, I am a normal person. I just I used to do, like, magic was my, like, street magic was my hobby, okay. And then now I am accidentally, like, becoming a channeler. So the thing is, why does why does our name always have to be spiritual, like, the awakened one, or ascension, or whatever? Why cannot it be like normal? Okay, like, I wanted to, like, keep this name because I wanted to keep the same name, okay, because I feel that people will use their discernment better when they are listening to my message. And it will be really fun to see see my children, or maybe my grandchildren, or maybe your grandchildren, whenever they are talking about channel materials, they say, okay, so there is this channel material from it is channeled from a magician, right, a street magician. They will be like, wow, right, this is different, okay. So I thought, because of that, maybe I should keep the same name, because it's different. All the people in the spiritual community, they have this, like, awakened one, or the enlightener, or all those kinds of name. So I just thought, why not, just keep it same. So yeah, I am deciding to keep the same name. And also in today's session, Ra has given us wonderful information about one thing, okay, that is, like, blocking us from accessing higher energies and ascending higher. So this one thing, if we are able to fix, and many of us, we are facing the same problems. If we are able to fix this, we will be able to ascend higher. So in this session, they talk about that in the beginning portion, about this one thing which is blocking us. And then after a certain period, okay, they talk about how we can improve improve this thing, okay. They describe a method, a technique, which is, like, brand new. I have never heard this from anyone, okay, not also on my channel. So this is a brand new method that they have given us, to train our mind. They said, to train ourselves to become an adept. Okay, so you will understand what they're saying in the session, and after the session I will explain, so don't worry. So here's the session, my friends. I am Ra, and we greet you in the love and the light of the One Infinite Creator. We are now communicating through this instrument in order to share our thoughts and insights. However, our objective is not to infringe upon the free will of each entity. Our main motivation is to provide inspiration to those entities who shall choose to feel the message beyond the words, and to apply the so-called inspiration thought forms into their own learnings. As we are here for the purpose of sharing, teach, learn the lessons in order to allow the entities who want to learn teach. For without teaching, there would be no learning, and without learning, there would be no teaching. In essence, what we mean to say is that you need to use your discernment. Also remember that this instrument has requested inspiration and message regarding why many entities are struggling on the current planetary sphere to ascend higher in the levels of consciousness. In this regard, we can state that there are many entities on your current planetary sphere who place the most important thing that each entity has on the planetary level, and that is the inner peace, which is a concept many entities do not embrace. Many entities place this aspect of peace after many other outward reality or the illusion complex desires. Many entities feel that they can place this aspect of inner peace and the ease of creation and being one and united with the true self on the back page of their experience. This is also one of the reasons why many entities on your planetary sphere struggle to not only attain the aspect of ascension into the fourth density consciousness, but they also become manipulated and used by the so-called illusion complex, since the illusion complex provides catalysts, which is primarily meant for the entities to understand their true nature and to realize that each is the one infinite creator experiencing life in a different physical incarnation. For this realization, many entities go through cycles of incarnations, however, missing the point multiple times. To be direct with those who are listening to our vibratory sound complexes, we must state that in order to understand what we are trying to allow you to perceive is that there is an inner knowingness within your inner heart, which once you are connected with will lead you to feel the inner peace, which cannot be shaken by other entities or the outside illusion complex. The most important thing in your life cycle to preserve is the peace. For the outside reality's main purpose will be to make you off balance. And this is also the foray of the adept, who has through many cyclical incarnations or through the process of being a wanderer, by incarnating from a higher dimension, understands the foray and understands that the balance of the self is the most important. It doesn't matter what the illusion complex shall present. What truly matters is that if such entity is able to stay centered in the inner peace of the knowingness of the one creator, then such entities will find it easier to navigate and to ascend faster, as this is one of the major blockages we can sense amongst your people at this time period. Even though in comparison to many hundreds or thousands of years prior, the so-called life cycles have improved, and the so-called people of your planet have become more harmonious compared to what was found in the past days. However, the inner fear and the inner separateness has still lingered on in this incarnation also. We can suggest one so-called method to allow entities who require to stay in touch with this peace and to become more balanced as they interact with the outside world. Such entities can, while they enter into the sleep state, focus their attention on one point of consciousness, whether it be on a physical part of the physical vehicle or whether it be on a point of concentration. The most important aspect is to just focus on one single point, to make sure that your consciousness is not flickering or changing the point of bias from one to the other. And as you enter into the sleep state, try to stay in contact with this single point of consciousness for as long as you can, before the other aspects of your so-called imagination complex and the mind complex emerge. For this exercise is the primary facility which will protect you and train you to become an adept as you encounter the illusion complex. The illusion complex
is meant to teach many lessons to many entities, and specifically to also disturb your inner balance of inner peace. The moment the outside world stops having an influence upon your level of consciousness, and the moment the outside world is unable to disbalance your inner peace, that moment you have realized ascension pathway. For by the accessing of this void of silence within your own self, you will begin to be connected with the divine consciousness, and you will begin to express that which is trying to express through you. This is all the information for today. I am Ra, and I leave you in love and light of the One Infinite Creator. We leave you now. Go forth and rejoice in the power and in the peace of the One Creator, Adonai.
So, hello my friends. After watching the session, I hope you understood, what Ra is actually trying to communicate in this session. Ra has said that, one of the most important things we need to preserve in our life is peace, which sounded like really interesting, okay? And this is actually true, whenever, we face negative situations, like whenever, something negative happens in the outside world, the first thing that gets disbalanced is our inner peace, right? So Ra said, to become an adept, or to become balanced in this play of consciousness we are having, we need to firstly understand that we are getting disbalanced. Okay, like whenever we face some situation outside, we are getting disbalanced because the outside world is trying to test us by providing catalyst, and also is trying to test our how much balanced we are. Okay, I believe this is also a very important aspect. And I have in my life as well faced many a times, okay, like whenever challenging situations they arise, I have noticed that the peace I had, it just like goes away. And I am always thinking to myself, if this situation is resolved, then only I can feel at peace. But the thing Ra said is that even if the situation was going wrong, or something wrong was happening outside, if we are able to stay at the center of our beingness and stay at peace, then they said the outside world will begin to reflect, I believe, a peaceful situation. And this is also how the adepts, they said, there are some entities who are able to stay balanced even in challenging situations. These entities, they are, Ra said, the adepts. Okay, now I believe the adepts are those entities who are extremely balanced, and they are neither they neither become like they cannot be like what do you say, shaken. Okay, they cannot be like once they are in peace, they are in peace throughout. Like no matter what happens on the outside, no matter what other person says, no matter what other people say, they are able to stay in this center of peace. And this is how adepts are able to navigate throughout the illusion complex, Ra is saying, okay? And this illusion complex, they said, is a teacher, in essence meant to teach us, by providing catalysts. And the best thing I learned in this session, this is very interesting. I'm going to try this today after I sleep. The thing Ra said is that, before we enter into sleep state, if we are able to choose one point in our body, okay, like just focus on one point, our consciousness should not flicker, okay, they said, Now normally our consciousness is flickering, because our mental activity, because of thinking too much, our consciousness is shifting from one point to other point, it's continuously shifting. But Ra said, before we enter into sleep, just keep your focus on one point. So what I'm going to try is, either I'm going to choose my hands, one hand wherever, just one point. I believe this would be a good area, or maybe my teeth. Okay, like just choose one teeth and completely focus on it, and see how long I can focus on this sensation without like changing. And during sleep time, I believe this becomes even harder, because during sleep time we have our imagination as well as many of the thought forms, they are arising. So this becomes extremely difficult to do at sleep time. So I will try this method, and I hope all of us ascend higher. And this is one of the blockages that Ra said we are having at this moment. So thank you all so much for watching the video. And also I need to say big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters who have supported me on my Patreon channel, where I'm sharing uncensored content. As you know, YouTube is like very heavily censored right now. And also I'm uploading almost like on a regular basis on Patreon. And further, I want to say is that if you want to know about your past incarnations, okay, send me an email. The email link is on the description as well as on the screen right now. And if I am free, I will send your session. Do send me an email if you want to know about this, and so that I will have your email in my list, and then I will send you as I get time. So yeah, thank you all so much once again, until we meet again.